just want to be fun. I love it. I love it. Hey, man. And welcome, everyone, to the 11th volume of Until the Final Whistle. I am your man's Solo Nolo Green.
I am sad.
Like, dog, when I tell you, when I saw you pop up in the stream, I saw I am sad. Hey man, as you already know, I was cackling. I was like, oh, I get it. I understand. So like, that's of course what we're gonna start with first, because not only was it the best game of the week, it's your team. So would you like to start, or were you want me to what would you like to do, my mans?
I was kind of hoping I could beat you into it so I could lead it into something different, just to trick you. Like we can start with it. Let's start with it.
Oh yeah, man. Good old Thursday night football. Very rare occasions when the Thursday night football game is the best game of the week. But we had a heated division rival. We got Bengals versus Ravens. It looked, hey man, there was a time in that game where y'all was handling them. I thought y'all was about to pull it out, but something happened, and then it just went downhill ever since then.
There was a sentiment that was spoken of early in the season, right? And it was like, one thing the Bengals really lack is grit and intensity. And you kind of seen it where, things are rolling. It's 21-7, right? We got the ball driving, and there's a fumble, right? It happens. They never recovered.
No.
The offense kept cooking, but the defense just capitulated after that. And it's just another one. I seen something earlier today to make the crash out worse. They were like, Tom Brady had 10 games in his entire career. I think 10 games in his entire career where the offense scored like above 33 and they lost. And Burrow's got 3 in his career, but they've all happened this season. And it's just like, man, I'm having no fun.
Oh man. So like, you've mentioned this before, where you're like, I bet our games are very entertaining to watch when you're just neutral and you don't really care who wins. And you're right. Y'all be having some exciting ass games, bro. Really good, really entertaining.
Right. We're in a group chat for one of our fantasy leagues, and I'm just looking at everybody having a great time, and I am suffering. Everyone's talking about all the points everyone's getting them. Everyone's like, yo, this is fun. It's like, how come we don't get more Thursday games like this? And I'm on the couch, like, begging and pleading, just one stop, please. Like, just make it stop. Please.
Hey man, if you had Ja'Marr Chase and if you were facing Ja'Marr Chase, my apologies. If you have Ja'Marr Chase, that was a blessing, bro. That was good for you. You had.
What's funny though, because you know how fantasy works. There are people out there that got that Ja'Marr Chase game right and thought it was a wrap, and then still probably ended up losing.
Oh, there's still, depending on what type of rules your league got, definitely high possibility. In the money league that we got, absolutely not.
Yeah,
absolutely not. Nah, dog. You putting up, what do you put up, 80?
Yeah, we got some weird boosters in our league for the fun of it, and I ain't gonna lie, it does make one thing. I originally wanted to vote against it, but then I was like, you know what, the hell with it, right? Because then like you go into some of these primetime games. I agree with you now. Like you go into some of these primetime games and you be looking at the score, and because of all the weird boosters we got, like there's still like an outside chance that maybe he just catches a 70-yarder. I'm right back in it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey man, you was on. Hey, as this week, as we get to the Monday night game later. But yeah, I thought my man was about to pull through for it. But I also thought Yo Mans was going to pull through Joe Burrow, and he takes no blame in this. Absolutely not. I'm not putting blame on him. I just thought he was going to pull the rabbit out the hat at the end and somehow get this victory, even though everything was against him, against that offense to perform.
The crazy part is it's just like the only play you can say he's not making, if you had to find some way to blame both of these Ravens games on Joe Burrow, you would have to just take the fumble out of the first game. No, that was against the Chiefs. No, it was against the Ravens. Can't remember. You would have to basically say, okay, I have all the faith that y'all can score, but hey, man, you know how Jamar Chase had that long touchdown? Maybe don't hit him, and then let's just go down the field and take 7 minutes off. And it's sad that that's like the only way I think we can win games now.
Hey, man, it's hard to do sustained drives all the time, because it's very easy to get to third down and then fluky shit happens, and then somebody drops the ball who always catches it and whatever. And now you're at fourth down. And is it really worth it to go for it on fourth down at this exact time? Sometimes it is, but hey, man, it's hard to put it. You have to put that together. Like
defense
everything
can't tackle. And Goff's out here 5 interceptions, winning games. Burrow is out here. You could argue that he's outperforming everybody's MVP favorite, but 4-6, he can't be an MVP candidate.
He surely cannot. And I'm still not going to say that he is outperforming.
I said arguably.
I got you. I'm just on the other side. Just had to say that. Just wanted to.
In the 2 games, paper side by side. Yeah, I get it. But in the 2 games, paper side by side, he's got better stats than Lamar.
Oh yeah,
he doesn't have the wins.
He might, which matters. That's all. It's all
true.
Good. You can be as great. That does matter.
So I want to get 2 things off my chest about that game. It's the 2 things I crashed out the hardest about that night, and then went to play golf the next morning on like 3 hours of sleep. Crash out number 1. Saw a lot of interesting talk about why did the Bengals go for 2 points, right? When just a week before, we're all asking, why didn't Tampa Bay go for the 2 points? You have seen what the defense has been giving you for the last half of football. Why in the hell would you ever want to take that to overtime and put it in the hands of a coin flip? Because if you lose a coin flip, it's a wrap. They're not stopping them. They haven't stopped them all game at this point. Well, they haven't stopped them the entire second half at this point. Going for 2 is absolutely the right choice.
Without question. I didn't understand why why people were questioning that. It seemed like you can't trust your defense at all. Your offense is the best thing you got going. Why would you not put the ball into the hands of your playmakers and just go ahead and do their thing? At least let them go for it. Why would you not go for 2?
So that leads me to the question I want to ask. Do we only criticize it if there are questions about the head coach? So in Tampa, Todd Bowles doesn't have those is he the right guy questions yet. So everyone's just like, okay, yeah, we'll go to overtime and see what happens, right? But in Cincinnati, everybody thinks Taylor's not the guy. I don't really know what the answer is, but because everyone thinks that, if it doesn't work, it's the wrong decision. If it does work, maybe I'll think about praising him.
I didn't see too many people being on the side of Todd Bowles, the decision. I saw that man get criticized for not going for 2 when Patrick Mahomes is on the other side. Go for 2. You might as well at least make it. Come on, bro. You same thing with y'all. There were conditions that you have to just go for 2. I understand there's books and like analytics and everything, but sometimes it's just all vibes. What makes sense? Like, oh man, my defense is trash. I need to score points. So let's try to win this and not go to OT. Because why the hell would I want to go to OT with these individuals?
Bums.
Why?
Crash out number 2. We got to talk about officiating, man. Like, you got Al Michaels in his old age calling it out as it is. He just like, the NFL's got to do better, man. So if we just, I'll ignore all the other stuff in the game. And I'm not trying to be like, this is why we lost, because everyone's going to take it that way because I'm just being a homer, and sad that my team lost. And I'm not going to bring up the Chiefs because everyone wants to take it in that direction.
Two things can be true.
You look at just the 2-point try. You look at just the 2-point try, right? Mike Gesicki is held. There is an argument, and I'm not going to say when it's bang bang, I like to side with the defender because it's just so goddamn hard. So there's an argument that there's potentially pass interference or defensive holding on Tanner Hudson, who the pass went to. And then Burrow basically gets punched in the mouth. So that's illegal contact. Mm-hmm. None of that shit was called. And then you got Ryan Fitzpatrick going on a postgame talking about, well, I'm not mad at them not calling holding on Gesicki, even though it's a hold, because Burrow never looks that way. When have they ever picked up a flag on offensive holding because the run didn't go to that side? That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. And I love Ryan Fitzpatrick, but bro, that was stupid.
That I did not hear that take of his. That was not the best of takes, bro.
Because you went to bed. I was crashing out watching the games.
I did go to bed. I went to bed being like, that was a fun ass football game. Oh man. But yeah, officiating. So my way of thinking is the first 2 ones that you talked about. I wouldn't have been that bad if they ain't called us. Whatever. Now the one on Burrow, that's egregious. Y'all, this is actually what they do this on Thursday Night Football repeatedly.
Yeah,
they just letting like the quarterback get like hit in the face. Like I understand like the bullshit like unnecessary roughness and roughing the passer that they be calling, but that was rules. Very verbatim.
To make it worse, you look at some of the roughings that get called that aren't roughing, and you're like, the fuck are we doing? You calling that, and then you see these dudes getting punched out, choke slam.
Hey. not the most consistent, but sometimes.
Speaking of quarterbacks getting punched out, did you see homeboy on the Colts swiping at the ball? Yo, he was throwing haymakers. Oh my God, you gotta look that up. He was trying to punch the ball out, but he's basically throwing haymakers on dude's head.
Damn. That's not smart. That's not for him at all.
And speaking of the Colts game, the Colts game brings me to another sad thing, Laurel.
What's that?
We gotta stop the elite meme.
Hey, I've been stopped. I've been here. I was wondering why y'all's calling him elite. I just thought it was kind of funny at first, but then I was like, he's not good. He just throws it up a lot, and his wide receivers be like, bet. Let me help you out.
The worst part about it is like these last 2 weeks, it hadn't even been fun. Like he's been like woeful.
Hey, bro, can we talk about how they do it? My man Richardson so dirty.
That's what I wanted to get into.
So dirty.
Because they was talking about Flacco is still the starter, right? How bad does he have to play to put Richardson in, or are they really that upset about him being tired?
Hey man, what's up with the Colts and players named Richardson? Like it just don't be working out too much for him, and I don't understand this. He's only had 10 starts. You knew he was a project when you drafted him. And he got hurt game 2 last year and then was gone for the rest of the season. Then you had him at the starter this season. And then you don't even stick with him. And then y'all said y'all was going to develop. We were going to mold him into a better quarterback and help him become to reach the potential that he like clearly has. And then you gave up on him in record time. And then did you see like the stats they had for the first 10 starts for Josh Allen and the first 10 starts for Richardson?
Yeah, they're like identical.
Josh was worse. That man was getting sacked like crazy. And they all vote because the offensive line was trash. He was holding the ball too damn long. But I just feel like he's not getting the best deal there. Like, if you were not going to play him, then he should have just never played.
Yeah, but like we were just talking a few weeks ago how if he's not ready, you don't really want to put him back out there. So it's like you're kind of stuck with it now.
I get it. You're right. We did say this. I just don't understand. Like, just let him play, bro. We already knew he was gonna be trash. We knew. Like, you just gotta hope that he just informed that like this is like a new thing where the rookie quarterback is like good. Like, it usually doesn't that used to not happen as often, but now teams want to try to get in that window before they got to pay the quarterback an astronomical amount of money. So
they're in a weird place too, because you could say they're in the playoff race, and it's like we're in this playoff race, and we don't really know who the quarterback's going to be, and it's like, do we just hope Flacco doesn't play this bad again, or do we throw in the kid we're not sure is ready but has this arm talent that we think he has? It's, man, luckily it's not my problem.
It's not. Nor mine. Look at us.
Look at me. My job's not on the line for this.
Nah. I actually get to sit back and enjoy and just make decisions that I would say that I would do. But don't have to bear any of the consequences. Like, it is beautiful, beautiful. So I guess it's time for you got your team out the way. We can get our team out the way very, very quickly because there's no point in staying on this. The Dallas Cowboys are not a good team. They're not. They're down to their. But one thing that we will clarify is that I want to see everyone, and my cousin is one of these people that said maybe Cooper get a chance. Cooper Rush deserves a chance to improve on our season. Maybe he is the answer that we need after we paid our quarterback $60 million a year. Maybe that's what we need to see. Did y'all see it? I saw it. I already knew it. I saw that man play in person before. You know one thing he's not the best at? Throwing down the field. That's not his thing. I'm not saying he doesn't complete them sometimes, but that's not his thing. And go ahead.
You know what I don't understand about that?
What's that?
Am I crazy? Did we not see what Cooper Rush can do like 2 years ago? The hell are we talking about?
Cooper Rush. We did see what Cooper Rush could do.
Where are these people coming from, or is it just purely Dak hate? Because, like, if it's purely Dak hate, just throw Trey Lance in at this point. Because Dak's done for the year. He is done for the year. He elected surgery,
done for the year. He's gone.
We know Cooper Rush ain't the guy. Where are his believers coming from? Just at this point, season's probably gone. Just see what Trey Lance can do. And if he can do it, then you found your backup for next year. And if you can't, leave it anyway. Who cares?
Hey, I feel you. I have a Trey Lance stat. Now, or this is the question to you that pertains to Trey Lance. Does Trey Lance, if you add up his throws in high school, college, and in the NFL, have more passing attempts than Tom Brady in his last season with the Buccaneers?
I'm gonna go no.
Okay. If I would have asked you this before Sunday, you would have been correct. But he is officially passed Tom Brady in his career tips that Tom Brady had in the last season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, yeah, man, that's another project that probably I'm well aware of how good and not good Trey Lance is. What's up?
You mean to tell me that San Francisco spent all that draft capital to move up to draft a dude who had like under 400 attempts.
Yeah.
Since high school.
Yep. Yeah, you were. Yes.
You know what? I don't think we've said this on this podcast before. That team does not get the hate they deserve from the Trey Lance situation. All because they got lucky and Brock Purdy worked out for them.
Brock Purdy worked out for him. There's definitely the biggest reason. Also, that even without Brock Purdy, they were still out here being successful and being very close. But they do deserve hella slack for it. They deserve to get every insult known for how bad that trade was. And they got on the F them picks narrative that teams have been on. The Rams are one of the best teams at it. They did F them picks for a little bit, and they finally got them a Super Bowl. Did not work. It has worked for the San Francisco 49ers until the last game where they just can't get it done. So I guess that's how.
Shout out to the Rams. We took the Chiefs out for them, I guess.
Yeah, they didn't have to work for the Chiefs.
Playoffs ain't so hard if someone just gets the Chiefs out your own way.
It's definitely easier. Definitely easier. You don't have to see Patrick Mahomes. When's the last time an NFC team had to play Patrick Mahomes? Minus y'all.
When the Patriots played the Rams.
I think that was probably it. I think you're probably right. No. Nah. Wait. Nah.
Yeah, the golf Brady year.
Was that the last one?
Because Brady beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
You right. You right. I was trying to think. I was like, nah.
Yeah, like for the past for the past 5-6 years, it's just been us and them.
Yeah, that's true.
And we were only one of them.
You know what?
Good luck, everybody else.
Have fun.
So, but
I hope I told you the Ravens. Told you my Super Bowl pick, man, still alive, still strong.
Ain't nobody beating the Chiefs. They're inevitable.
I mean, I know the Broncos thought they was about to beat the Chiefs. They were sadly mistaken.
That team's going undefeated. You can't tell me you saw what happened Sunday and not just be like, no, ain't nobody beating them. Even when they get beat, they still win. Doesn't matter.
I don't know if they're gonna go undefeated, but I can definitely see them going for the 3-peat. Even though that is not my pick. I'm sticking with my pick until the end, until it's no longer feasible. But
look at it this way, right?
You still got to go through them.
Ain't nobody in their own division beating them. All right.
What if the Chargers do it?
Stop. Ain't nobody in the division beating them. They've already got past us. They've already got past Baltimore. Have they already played the Steelers? Because that's probably their next hardest game.
I don't think so. I will say that the Ravens, they played the Ravens at the worst the Ravens were ever going to be. That's how I kind of look at it. So maybe when they face each other again, when that inevitably happens, that the Ravens get it done. I still think they're going to get it done. That's just me personally.
All right, let me now play for you what their remaining schedule is. Okay.
The Chiefs go for it.
Yeah. So they play the Bills. Okay. There's a chance there.
Right, yeah.
Then they play Carolina.
That's not a loss.
The Raiders.
Also not a loss.
The Chargers. In Arrowhead.
Oh, no. They're not losing that either.
The Browns.
Nope.
Houston, also in Arrowhead.
Yo. Can we stop for a second?
Okay.
Do you know how funny it would be and how much wonderful content we would get out of Jameis Winston defeating and giving the Kansas City Chiefs their first loss? Do you know how much fun that would be?
The post-game locker room speech would win Emmys.
Yo, man, this is crazy. I kind of hope that's what happens. I don't need them to go undefeated. It'd be cool, I guess.
I did not beat the Browns. All right. Then Texans and Arrowhead. And
Texans
then in Arrowhead. And then the Steelers, and they finish with the Broncos. Now the Steeler game is in Pittsburgh. So really it's just I think just the Buffalo and Pittsburgh game are the only ones we can probably circle. Unless like Stroud figures it out in the next month.
I mean, I think Stroud's biggest problem is that he doesn't have Nico Collins. So I think that if they has Nico Collins, I think that matchup is going to be a good one. I'm not saying that they go win, but I feel like they can like do something. Hopefully they'll actually score in the second half this time.
I mean, we'll see, but
my man said, "Nah, they going undefeated." He said, "Nah, that block kick was like something ordained. It had to happen." It was it was a canon event.
Tomfoolery was on. Tomfoolery.
Hey man, what you call it? I saw they actually like broke down how the joint worked, and I was like, oh man, they attacked the same dude every single time when they
getting cooked.
Yeah, he got cooked, dog. The one he got knocked on his ass off for the block field goal. That wasn't even the worst one. He got cooked multiple times during that game, and they just said, "Oh, we gonna get him one more time. All we gotta do is get there." They sure did.
There's a quote. Somebody I follow. I gotta look it up real fast. There's somebody I follow in the independent NFL sphere, and he's a big Broncos guy. Mm-hmm. And I gotta find the quote. It's in here somewhere.
Hey man, it's like okay. The quote will be found. I believe in you. You got this.
Struggling. He said, "This is the day football has betrayed me."
Hey, bro, that's a tough loss. That's a tough loss, dog. You went thinking that you was about to get this pretty much like sealed victory and give your division rival its first loss of the season, and then something that doesn't happen very often happens.
But psych, you're not the Chiefs. You don't win football games.
Damn. I mean, shit. Hey, I know not a lot of people are the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 1-1. And this man, Patrick Mahomes, not even playing that good. He just plays good when he has to. That's just crazy.
He only has to make like one throw a game.
Hey, man. It's all good. It's okay, bro. Oh. So, someone got fired today. Yeah, someone got fired.
You know what makes that even funnier?
What's that?
The last two people that have been fired in the NFL are both ex-Bears staff, and pretty recently.
I had that same stat too, and it's hilarious. if that isn't an indictment on your like organization, I don't know what is, bro. Shane Waldron, what were you doing? All of you, what are you doing? Eberflus, what are you doing? What's happening? And people thought Bill Belichick was just out here hating at the beginning of the season when he was talking about the Bears general manager and like his team building, but he was telling the truth, dog.
So I was talking to a resident Bears fan who was crashing out. Mm-hmm. And he was like, you know what the worst part about this is, right? Is we've only put a Band-Aid on what could be like many, many, many problems. Because you're looking at how the Bears offense runs. And you're like, okay, the offensive line's bad. So there's that. Caleb's playing bad. So there's that. The scheme looks bad. So there's that. None of the receivers know what they're doing, so there's that. On the plays where the offensive line doesn't break down, Caleb makes the wrong decision, so you got that. He can't hit standard throws, so there's that. DJ gets open, but the throw's not there, so there's that. It's like how many things? You can't solve it all at once.
Hey, the Bears in their organization and front office made terrible missteps this entire season and before the season. Because the first thing they should have did after the last season was fire Eberflus. He had to go. He shouldn't have had absolutely anything to do with what you thought the future was gonna be for your team. Getting Caleb Williams was a new start, a new day. Just go ahead and make it happen, and do what needs to happen. Do the things that need to happen. You didn't fix none of his offensive line. His offensive line is doo-doo. And it's even worse doo-doo because they are down 4 offensive linemen who weren't that good in the first place. So imagine what's happening when the backups get in there. As we're seeing, this man, most of the time, he just gets attacked immediately. There are some times where he holds the ball too long. There are some times where he should where the plan should just be no negative plays. But sometimes he's a rookie and he's playing really skittish behind that terrible offensive line. And man, so many problems. And they're not going to fix any of them.
And unfortunately, just like in wrestling, a new day doesn't always mean good things.
Hey, bro, what are we doing here? You trying to remind me of what's going on right now?
I saw a tweet from Raw last night, and I was just like, I got to find a way to work this in. Anyways, yeah, man. So you're looking at a situation with the Bears, right? Somebody else had told me, is like, hey, this. You remember when they used to say, like, what if they picked Patrick Mahomes instead of Trubisky? Mm-hmm. And then everyone just likes to point at this now. Like, this might have happened right here. You're looking at the dude everybody thought was this generational talent, and we're ruining him. And you don't know what you're going to do. You brought – it's just like, how many times have we seen now these guys come in to teams with lame duck head coaches in their first year, and it turns into a nightmare. We're looking at a potential Trevor Lawrence where 3 years from now, 4 years from now, we'll be sitting here on this podcast talking about, hey, man, when are we going to actually see it from this kid, though? Outside of like flashes here and there.
Man, I hope that's not what happens because I believe it, Caleb. I saw the talent. I saw the talent in Trevor Lawrence, but he went to a clown show organization known as the Jaguars, who have actually been better more recently than the Chicago Bears. So dang.
I don't know, man. I don't know the answers, but you know what I did? I did decide to torture our resident Bears fan.
Of course.
And said, y'all will probably fire Eberflus. And I know just the man that can come in and right the ship. And he was like, I don't think I want to know. And I was like, I hear Mike McCarthy might be available.
Oh.
And we all saw what he can do, at least in your first 2 seasons on the offense. Y'all might start humming. You might win 12 games, but you're probably not going to make the next step. But should right the ship. We saw what he did in Dallas. He didn't like that.
I wouldn't have liked it either. I'd have been like, that is a terrible hire. We need, you know who they really should go get? Ben Johnson.
That's what everybody says, but like, why would he want to go there? Besides the fact that you inherit an on-paper offense.
There is not a thing. Unless he just thinks that he is that man, which I'm pretty sure you have to think that. Like, I mean, you would have to face your former team every year twice. And he actually likes them. So, yeah, you're right. But I just mean, like, I feel like he can actually fix them if he was to go there. Or he could also get the Bears stink. And that's not good.
My thing with Ben Johnson, though, is why wouldn't – I feel like a new coach would almost rather go to a team where he can put his own culture and get his own guys in than go to a team that you inherit an already started project where you know you're going to have your quarterback because of what they invested to get it. You're going to have them for 2 to 3 years. So, like, why would you pick Chicago over, like, who else might be open this year? You could go to New York. They'll probably make changes. You could go to
the Cowboys,
the Giants. The Giants. You could end up in Dallas. And, like, at least then you're inheriting a quarterback that's closer to hanging it up, you know? You could draft somebody to sit for a year if you go to Dallas.
I mean, I just don't see it. I see him also being able to, like, help people. Like, I think he can, like, what Mike Tomlin likes to say is that coaches, it's a shame that coaches hate coaching. They don't like coaching. Like, you got a dude coming in and he hasn't worked anywhere else. I think I can make him work. I think that's what it is. I just think baby Ben Johnson is one of those people. That man got Jared Goff out here looking like an amazing quarterback. I think he can do that somewhere else.
I mean, like, I agree with you, but at the same time, if they go in there and it doesn't work, first guy to go is always the coach.
Always. Absolutely. That's what you get paid the big bucks for, baby.
Yeah.
That's what I don't
know. I still think I'd look at that and be like, I could go somewhere and make the whole thing mine, or do I want to fix the Bears?
Okay. I feel like he can do both of those things at the same time. But I will also say that I completely understand him wanting to go somewhere else. Unless they threw, like, an outrageous amount of money at him, which I doubt they would do. But I feel like they should do to get someone in there to fix it.
They suck, bro.
They're not good. They're not good. Everything about them isn't going well. Oh shit! You know what we gotta talk about?
Something crazy just happened?
No. I was just reminded of you get to talk about one of your favorite teams in the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I would like to set this up in a way. We have two older QBs that we haven't really, well, one we have talked about a lot, and one we haven't. And they're having very different seasons, I think you could say. Where if you would ask me this question, or if you asked anybody this question 2 years ago, we would have never thought this was going to be the outcome. Pittsburgh is letting Russ cook, and he's kind of cooking. George Pickens has never had a QB this good, and he's enjoying himself. And then to make it even better, the other quarterback we're talking about is everybody's favorite, Aaron Rodgers, who wanted to get rid of Mike Williams, who caught the game-winning touchdown this past weekend.
Yes, he did.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
bread basket too. Bread basket.
That was a good throw, good catch. It all worked out, man. Russ is, if you give Russ a very good, a definitely very good running game, Russ can do his thing, man. Russ, he probably does the play. He does the play action better than Justin Fields. He's a better quarterback than Justin Fields. And I don't know what the hell that was. But yeah, he is just better at doing things that comes along with being a veteran in this game. And Mike Tomlin made a great decision going back to Russell Wilson, even after Justin Fields was doing his thing a little bit. Like, he wasn't bad. By no means was he bad. But they definitely won't score as many points as they are now.
The thing that I think a lot of people forget about this is the Steelers were in a situation where they were they were done with the Pickett experiment. So they said, what are we going to do? They went and they made that trade to get Justin Fields, who I think at the time they were just like, he'll just be a bridge, right? We're not going to draft this year because we don't have the position for it. So we'll get Fields in to bridge it and then see what we can do. But the fact that they took a flyer for Russell Wilson at basically league minimum for his veteran status, and for him to come in and like, here we are, what is it, week 12? Steelers Ravens is like kind of a division first place game right now, and they got Russell Wilson.
Absolutely a division.
Man, is that worked out?
Yay. Hey, dog. Russell Wilson, a lot of people, it's up in the air on how you felt about Russell Wilson last year. The year before that, he was completely and utterly trash. But last year, it kind of just depended on how you looked at it. Now, if you paying as much money to Russell Wilson as the Broncos was paying, no. He needs to play better. Now, league minimum with the Pittsburgh Steelers, man is out here doing way outperforming his contract, what he's making that year, even though he's still getting paid by the Broncos, so it don't matter. But
I think you have to take it into account for what it is. Like, yeah, that first year Russ was bad, but like how much of it was Hackett too? And then they bring in Sean Payton, who just doesn't want him. So like he's out there just playing because he's on the team at this point. And he played pretty well, comparatively. If you compare Russell Wilson to what his peer set is now, like your Kirk Cousins and them, Stafford's probably the ceiling of that skill set of like older, stalwart kind of veteran guys. Just the guys that Aaron Rodgers is more close to than what he thinks he's close to.
Hey man, I was having thoughts in my head for thinking now. I was sitting here thinking like, yo, is Kirk Cousins better than Russell Wilson? And I sat there and I was like, no, I wouldn't say that. He just had more recent success than Russell Wilson.
They're just a different style of quarterback. Is that like a cop-out kind of answer?
It is definitely a cop-out, but I can allow it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you for it.
Because Kirk is definitely more of this, what you think of as like a pocket guy. Because Russell ain't a pocket guy. He was always kind of an extend the play guy compared to like Kirk. But like,
yeah, he has the ability to run away.
I just don't want us to get into the part of this argument where we go, well, Russell won a Super Bowl.
No, I won't even try to get there. I just meant more recently, like Kirk has been playing better just recently. So
yeah, he's been in better situations too.
Oh yeah, without question, that man had Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, like the last Russell years in Seattle, they were kind of at the end of like not a dynasty, but they were at the end of like what we all knew that team was. They're at the end of that.
Yeah.
And then, he goes to
Legion of Boom was gone and everything. I feel
he goes down to an absolute mess in Denver.
That he did not help fix.
They are, however, both incredibly corny. I'll give them both that one.
Yeah, that very much so. It's cool. If we can just laugh at you and shit, we good. We straight. Yeah. Ain't no wrong. Sometimes you
Subway sandwiches and Kirk just be swag surfing, like, whatever.
Yeah, corny be winning sometimes, bro. It is what it is. It is what it is. Oh. Did we talk about the 49ers? I don't remember. I don't think we did. We did not talk about the 49ers. I know one thing I'm going to talk about the 49ers about. That man Debo wrong. So he had to do that. He had to do that, bro.
Look, man. He was frustrated.
I get it. I'm not saying I know, I understand. I get it. And good for the long snapper standing up to him. But yeah, man, just hey.
He was on man's neck.
Yo, oh boy, missed 3 field goals where they would have easily won that game. Then they actually had to sweat it out. And then he had to, and luckily he made the last one. He made the yeah, I think somebody was like, I'm happy that he got that beautiful ending as the end of his NFL
yeah, they were like,
career.
This will be the first time you ever see a kicker get fired for making this last kick.
I was like, damn, bro. I can understand if they got rid of him, but I mean, I don't think you should get rid of him quite yet. He ain't been that. He just had a bad game. Personally, I don't think he's had like a bad season.
Yeah. Everybody's allowed a hiccup game in the kicking world. It's just like you don't want to do that more than once. Right? It's just like just don't do it again. You can stay.
Oh man. What was my kicker name? I forgot. The one where he was great all season. And then he got to the playoffs and just started missing every extra point. I forgot my man's name. Oh man.
I remember we had Mike Nugent and he crashed out in a playoff game and I was about to throw the TV out the window.
I remember that.
Because Dalton's only got like 2 playoff games he didn't completely suck in, and that was one of them, and this dude couldn't make a fucking kick.
Brett Maher. That was his name. Brett Maher, man. He was doing so good. He was like the most accurate kicker all year. Get to that playoff game with the Buccaneers and started missing all of the kicks. And then it was so bad, we had to go into the San Francisco, and we knew we couldn't kick for real.
I have a question.
What's your question, my good sir?
Could you make that field goal on College Football Saturday that Pat McAfee does?
So I know he does it, but I'm not like sure how far it is.
I think it's a 30 or 35 yarder.
Hell nah. I doubt.
I'm tearing something in my leg.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Like
all them people too.
Yeah. Did you see that Pac-Man ran a 4.51?
He's still that fast?
40 years old. Yeah. He said he could do one. He said, I got you. He did it on McAfee show.
I love Pac-Man. Bengals legend.
Cowboys legend, dog. Cowboys legend.
Look at us.
hey man, shout out to my mans. He was on that team with
with Terrence Newman, because we had him too.
Yeah,
yeah, when we had the Mike Zimmer defense, Newman.
Yeah, you had to. Yeah, good times, bro. Good times. Terrence Newman was my boy.
That defense.
He had to go. Oh, man, I'm sorry.
You're not sorry.
I'm not, bro. Yeah, I be rooting for your team most of the time, at least in like football. No, I'm rooting for your. There's not. I don't think there's a professional team of yours that I'm out here like. I take that back. Liverpool. I wish everything was the worst things for them.
There is. It's old and defunct, but there is an old NL West Braves Reds rivalry from the old Milwaukee days that carried on to Atlanta. It's kind of gone now with the new division structure, but used to be a thing.
I believe I am like, I don't know it like crazy, but I am aware of that. That was a thing at one point.
Yeah, it was big in the 80s and 90s.
For whatever reason, the Atlanta Braves were in the NL West.
They were in Milwaukee.
I mean, I know I was about to say it's probably because of Milwaukee, but yeah, I was like, why?
It was wild. Like the West had Cincinnati, Chicago, St. Louis, Milwaukee. Because like historically, all the teams are in the Northeast and the Midwest. So like, yeah, us and Pittsburgh used to be split up, even though they were still rivals in the 70s. We were split up.
Remember when the Arizona Cardinals were in the NFC East?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the old.
Wait. Okay. Even though I feel like this is an easy game, this is an easy question. Or an easy stat, at least. It's not even a question. Like that the Indianapolis Colts have won the AFC East more recently than the Jets have.
Yeah.
That shit is sad. That is
The
sad.
Colts have also won. If you take the North and turn it back into the Central, the Colts have won the Central more recently than the Browns.
Ooh.
The Browns have also never won the new division. So,
oh no,
suck, buddy.
It does suck to suck,
bro. It's like 20-something years old. That's bad.
I remember when they played. Was it Kelly Holcomb? Is that who I'm remembering? When they went to the playoffs that one year against the Steelers, and I was like, "You go Browns," because I've never seen you.
I thought it was like Tim Couch or something.
Nah, it wasn't Tim Couch. I know it wasn't Tim Couch. He won't get. He won't get.
It was the new Browns, right? Like the first time they went back to playoffs.
Yeah. When they put, it was like a wild card game because they played the Steelers. I remember them losing because I wanted them to win, but I couldn't. I feel like Kelly Holcomb was the quarterback.
I'll try to find it.
Yeah. I'm like almost sure. Like not when the Browns with Baker Mayfield, your MVP.
They won that game though.
Here. They did win that game. They beat the Steelers ass that game. That object was crazy. that was entertaining to watch. I love Steelers playoff losses. Like when they lost to Tim Tebow, that was great. That was entertaining.
There we go. 2003, they lost to the Steelers.
Yes. Kelly Hope.
Trying to load the box score.
Let's see. Come on. I feel it. I think that's who it is.
You're struggling.
On that. Hey, man. We talked about your computer. Your computer be doing this thing.
I don't think the people know.
It be
I don't
trying.
think the people know.
Hey, that's okay, bro. We good.
Kelly Hogan.
You said what?
Kelly Hogan. Yeah.
Hey.
Kelly Hogan versus Tommy Madden.
Woo! Woo, that was a bar burner. That's what I'm talking about. Look at all those great NFL quarterbacks there.
And then Carson Palmer came and everything changed.
It did change. It is cool. Do you have a favorite Bengal?
Of all time?
Yes.
I love the showmanship of like Ocho Cinco.
I get that.
That was a lot of fun. Because it's not recency bias, but it's just because of what I've been able to see. It's definitely Burrow. Just stuff that I never thought I'd see in my life. Like you can't really take that kind of stuff away, you know?
Nah. He gave you some of the happiest Bengals moments you've ever had in your life. So
absolutely wild. I'd say it's like Burrow. I always liked AJ Green because he was just a great guy. Ocho Cinco was always great. Big soft spot for Houshmandzadeh.
TJ. Shout out to Tej, man. I used to love playing with y'all on Madden. It was great. We used to eat
without sounding obvious. No, because it's probably not Emmitt Smith. So for the Cowboys.
I mean, he's not my all-time favorite Cowboy, but he's like in the top 5 if we're just naming people. Yeah.
Leon Lett.
No. No. But nah, all-time favorite is definitely Michael Irvin. That was my boy. Michael Irvin. Tony Romo's in my top 5. I love Tony Romo. That's my man. I understood that a lot of people only know him for like the mistakes that would always happen. But hey, man, that was my guy. One thing you can never say that he Like he won't good. He just wasn't good enough to get us over the hump. Minus that one game in Green Bay, but let's not talk about that one.
Remember when he dated Jessica Simpson?
I do. The Cabo trip. That's the other thing people like to bring up with him is that him and Jason Witten with his wife went to Cabo, and the week before a playoff game, and then lost to the eventual Super Bowl champion New York Giants, who they had defeated 2 times earlier that year. You guess. But hey, man, a lot of things went wrong. Not a lot of things, but a couple things went wrong. Patrick Creighton was out here playing like cheeks. He made a couple mistakes. And it just did go well. And then Tony threw that interception at the end. Okay. I mean, it is what it is. It's hard to beat a team three times in a game. Miles Austin was that dude, number 19, man. Number 19. Roy Williams was also one of my favorite players. That man could have covered for shit, but he was great at hitting people. That man, Bill Parcells called him Biscuit because he's one biscuit away from being a linebacker.
It's hard for me on defense because, like, a lot of the defensive players I really liked until, like, the current iteration of the team, a lot of them have kind of crashed out on us. Like Geno Atkins crashed out. Carlos Dunlap crashed out. Bengals fans have a real soft spot for Chris Crocker, if you even know who that is.
I remember
he was one of those like safeties that was always kind of around. And he was never like, it was like, he's that guy that isn't supposed to start, but because of circumstances keeps having to, but he plays solid. And you're just like, I don't like the guy, you know?
That you have Chris Crocker. The Cowboys had Jeff Heath. Jeff Heath was out there, number 38. If you need to be reminded of Jeff Heath, he was the safety who had that open shot on Aaron Rodgers in that game, the first playoff game for Dak. And when I say to make the hit, if you don't remember the hit, if you remember how on Sunday, Murray got hit.
Yeah, his head popped off.
Yeah, pretty much the same hit. Pretty much the same joint. I was like, I thought that ball was about to be gone. I still don't know how Aaron Rodgers held on to that, but hey.
Shoot, man, I remember.
Shout out to G Thief, man.
I remember when we had Leon Hall and Jonathan Joseph in the same D-back room.
Yeah. I remember. Terrence Newman was my man's. Like you said, Terrence Newman. I remember when he got drafted. Man, was a great rookie and just did amazing things. Top tier corner for many a years. You didn't have to worry about that side. There were very few times where that man got smoked. Oh, even though I think I already know the answer to this question. Who is the player on that murders your team every time you play him? It's just like murder. Murder was the case.
We already talked about Lamar Jackson.
Oh, shit. Damn. You know who I went to when I thought about it? Even though I think Lamar has Ben was who I went to.
It's just as bad.
Damn. Well, he's damn.
Bullshit, dude.
God dang, man. I'm sorry.
The crazy part, like back during the Ben run, you would look at like the Bengals Ravens splits were pretty even though the Ravens had all the success. But then like the goddamn Steelers games, it's just like loss. And now it's kind of worse, where it's like every time we play fucking Baltimore, loss. Oh, we won this year. Oh, it's because Tyler Huntley's playing. Loss.
10-1. 10-1, dog. 10-1 Lamar Jackson.
There is still that damn spin move he did like 5 years ago is still on highlight reels.
Because it's great. That man was literally, he spun on y'all.
Man, acting like that was a hard question.
I forgot. Hey man, I really did think of Bathroom Ben first, but then
most people our age probably will. But because he is gone and Lamar has been killing us for so long now.
Yeah. Hey, man, you said it's about the same, but yeah, oof. Hey man, it's all good. But hey, you got anything else? Because I believe that is it.
No, man, back to being sad.
Hey, it's all good, bro. It's all good, man. We here.
I'm gonna send
here
you
for you.
I'm gonna send you New Day highlights when we get out of here.
And then I will be blocking you. So, gotta protect my peace, brother. Gotta protect my peace. You can find me at Rally the Leaf on Twitter and Instagram. Also, on Blue Sky. Shout out. I'm up there now. Follow the Bang Pod page at BGW Pod on all of those platforms.
You can find me on whatever the heck Twitter's called now, at Duke Achievers. Plan on getting Blue Sky. I am also habitually lazy, so we will see.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna happen, y'all. Probably not gonna happen, but it's okay. That's fine. See y'all next week, man, for Volume 12.